Good morning. What's going on, my friends? Nice to see you guys here. My name is OG Trades, aka the Strat OG, and welcome to your Place Your Trades Network. This morning, my guest is Michael, aka the Blind Trader. We're going to be talking about perseverance, and it is brought to you by Tradeovate that has a custom built-in app that all of us here at Place Your Trades are using. If you use the link in the chat to start trading, using that Tradeovate web app for free, where you can follow along and make your own picks. Make sure that you like and subscribe our channel, set the notifications so that you never miss out on one of these podcasts. Thank you so much for doing that. I am trying to keep things very up and light this morning because I love my guest. I'm going to push away the fact that I feel like absolute garbage. I'm coming down with something. If I start losing my voice a little bit, that's all right, because I know the Blind Trader's got my back. He's going to be talking a little bit about perseverance. He's going to be talking about how he started in the trading game, what he does to get prepared, and then we'll talk about what we're here to talk about, these event contracts, these wonderful products that came out just in September. The CME put them out. Tradeovate is the web app to use to get in there and pick whether it's going to is the ES going to stay above 3,900? Yes or no. It is that simple. It is that simple. You're only picking one of two things. So without any further ado, the Blind Trader over here. I'm glad I pointed in the right direction the first time. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I do. I appreciate it. But I've been excited. I felt like the other day when I done one, I had to kind of cut it short. So
yeah, just a little bit. And you were talking about the Stratapalooza. Yeah.
Yes,
had
yeah,
to cut it short a little bit. So I figured I'd let you come in and talk. Well, we're going to talk about perseverance. So give us a little bit of background on yourself, how you got started in trading, and then perseverance itself. Like what is that to you? Because it comes in so many different words: perseverance, determination, internal fortitude. Just put your head down, continue to put one foot in front of the other, and just I think I can. I mean, everybody knows the story of the little engine that could. And you were talking to me in the green room about how they used to call you Little Mike.
That's right.
But this is Michael. If you guys aren't familiar with him, you guys need to get familiar with him because it's an absolute blast to be able to call him friend. And you are, and I love the content you put out. It's very uplifting and definitely something to look at. So give us a little background.
For me, whenever I used to work at a warehouse, like Bryant's Rental is what it was called. It's just a party rental store. I worked there for like 11 years, I think. So I was there for a long time. I started losing my vision, and I decided my doctor actually told me, he was like, you shouldn't drive anymore. You ought to think about drawing your Social Security before you're not able to go to work, and then they start taking it away from you because you're not working. He's like, you've been working, you need to make sure you go for it. So I was like, okay. And losing your vision, man, you just go into a depression, especially whenever you have to give up such a good job. I became the manager of this company. I really loved what I was doing there, and I went to a really bad depression. So
I can't imagine.
I can't
imagine. So how do you get
out
of that
was
funk?
difficult. Yeah, that was difficult. I had to find something, and that's what I kept trying to figure out. What am I going to do the rest of my life? What can I do? It's got to be something. There's got to be something I can do. And my wife came home with the Robin Hood app, and she was like, "Hey," she's like, "Check this out." And I was like, because she knows me, I always like money. I've always been about making money. That's what I love doing.
That's what
I'm the guy that picks up change
round,
on the ground and puts it in my pocket.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to pick up the change that everybody else leaves behind in the market. I'm just gonna go slowly through and pick it up. But
absolutely.
And it just gave me something. Yeah, it gave me a lot being able to come in here. And then you guys are even giving me so much more, allowing me to come on these live streams. It's like, look at me, I'm no longer alone. I used to sit here by myself all day long. Now I feel like I'm in a crowd. Sitting at this computer, I feel like I'm in a crowd all day long. So
go ahead.
That's what helps me to do what I do now. Is I can sit here and I've got people that I can chit chat with and questions, and you guys will answer any of my questions. I know Mighty Soldiers. That guy Andy, I've I've asked him so much over the years. I bet he's like, oh man, it's Mike again.
No, not at all. It's a wonderful
No,
community to be a
yeah,
part of, and
and he's a
we're
good
lucky to
guy.
have
Yeah,
guys like you as a part of it because you've got these life lessons that are very important for newer traders. So,
yeah,
how do you get prepared for the day? Because you were saying you kind of sit there by yourself. You have a community now, but what
right.
do you do to get yourself prepared? How do you show perseverance in the market? Maybe when you take a loss or your trade plan didn't work according to plan. Kind of walk us through your thought process and how that kind of goes.
Yeah. If I'm what the way I set up my morning is I go through and I listen to because I can't watch. That's one of my struggles is I cannot watch you on here and read your chat
Hmm.
or do work and watch this because most of the time I'm using the voiceover to hit the screen and read things for me so that I can just sit
Gotcha.
there and listen to it. Because me trying to read it, I can still read a little bit because I've got about 5 degrees of vision and it's really faded. It's spotty, but I can still piece together how to read. I'm pretty good at still putting that together.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's something to consider as well because you were talking back in the green room that you're showing a little bit more signs of, well, I don't want to give your personal information out. What
yeah,
what are some of the struggles you're going through here throughout the trading day? Are you having some fatigue you have to kind of work through? Walk me through that.
yeah, my eyes are getting wore out this whole week at about 10:20 a.m. every morning this week. I don't know if you know me, you know I hang out in a lot of the chat rooms and just chit chat with people just because it gives me something to do during the day. But after about 10 o'clock, everything I really die off right there, and it's not because I just don't want to be involved. I can't read anymore, so I'm having to only. That's when I use my time to do my research. Is I'll turn on and let the voiceover read stuff to me because voiceover won't read a chat. I wish it would, and it might one day, but it doesn't yet.
Hmm.
So, but I can
Yeah.
read like documents off of Benzinga and bar charts, stuff like that, and use my voiceover.
Yeah.
So,
It's
yeah,
nice to see that you have tools available for
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So then how do you prepare yourself for the day so that you don't have to really pay attention to call out services or looking at the screen so that you're fatiguing your eyes where
right.
you told me
That's
you like to set up longer trades. So how do you do that?
yeah, that's where the strat has really made a big difference for me because I was having to sit here and try to stare at this all day long, and now I'm I'm able to come in here in the morning, do my research, whatever I need to do. Really, not so much research as just looking at these charts anymore. I'm really getting better at the. Let me see what the candles look like now. So
Yeah. So
I'll,
let's
I'll
do us a solid. Share
yeah,
your screen.
yeah,
Walk us through
yeah,
a way that you're able to. I believe you still have to set that up. So while he does that, if you are unfamiliar with the event contracts, these event contracts, there's 10 different products that you can trade. If you follow the link in the chat, in the link in the description of the video, you're going to be able to be directed to the Trade of 8 web app where you can do a little bit of due diligence before you start getting into these, but it's a great barred entry for futures. If you're unfamiliar with futures themselves, this is a great way to just be directional for the day rather than trying to pick specific levels that you want to get in or you want to get out. If I'm looking at the ES or the NQ, the RTY, the YM, crude oil, anything like that, I can easily say, directionally, we're already two up on the day. If you guys are unfamiliar with strat terms, that's all right. It just means that directionally we went two up yesterday. We had a reversal. We're now directionally two up on the day, which means that directionally we are long. All right. We
Can you
got your
see my
stuff pulled up.
screen?
Yep, got it.
Okay, all right. This is Trend Spider. I'll get rid of the sidebar here. And you see what I do here is I find my channels, which I believe I'm trying to make them better broadening formations. I'm still basically just drawing channels. I know it's something I still got to work on, but I think Trend Spider has something to help me with that. But that's where Trend Spider is awesome its own. But this is what I'll do. I say I like the TQQ and I've been watching it. Well, look, yesterday right here was a perfect. This was it came down here and it touched. This is what you. But I have to wait on these. So my eyes were hurting all week. And what was this doing all week? It was going straight down.
Mm-hmm.
So I come over here and I'm like, well, let me take a look and see what the SQ is done. And that's where I actually took a trade on it. I believe it was yesterday, early in the morning before my eyes started hurting. I got in and out of it early, and I was able to trade it through the. What I was trading was, let me go back here and show you a monthly look of it. Is us breaking through this solid candle right here.
Okay.
Is that I was using that as my anything to do with these candles is what I'm using. It might have been on the. I think I'm looking at the wrong one here. Hang on.
Yeah, not a problem. I mean, you know what?
Let me
Just
find it.
as you're walking us through these, just take your time. We can
Yeah,
kind
there
of
it is.
understand the process that you're going through. You're looking at specific levels for longer term plays, and if you miss something to the short side, you're looking for the inverses to play. So
Like,
that's you're playing it in both directions
yeah,
and waiting for them to set up, and it could take a few days for it to set up for you.
that's what I'm doing. I'm playing both sides, and I got I was on track there, but then I didn't switch back to the TQ. If you come back here to the TQ, you can because I keep TQ and the SQ pulled up at the same time when I'm doing this because you can use both of them. But we're long in this one, like you said, we're two up on the day right now.
Yep.
Okay, now we are the sellers are in control this morning, so if you wanted to cut this, you'd want to cut it before you, in my opinion, I'd want to cut it before it broke right here. That way, you got in down here, you at least take some profit, and it comes back down again. You want to try again, you can try again. But
Sure. How do you
what
go
I,
about understanding where you want your stop loss? Because I think that's where a lot of newer traders kind of struggle, and
yep,
that's where like the topic of the show is perseverance. You know, they take a lot of hits and don't really understand risk management, don't really
yes,
understand where to get in, where to get out. We have the ability to understand how price moves in three directions where there's consolidating, going directional, or it's expanding. So,
when
how do
when
you
I
determine your stop?
when I put on Twitter that I buy one share of something to get it to go lower, I'm not lying. That's what I do. I buy one share of this stock. If that's what I'm doing, I'll buy one share of it, and I'll let it play all day long and see what it's going to do, and I'll start finding where that support is going to hit and if it's going to hold a support before I'll even make a decision whether I'm going to buy more of it. Because once I start buying more, now I'm getting serious about this stock,
Yep.
and because I've gave myself time, more than likely, and everybody knows this, when you buy a stock, it always goes down. So you give that thing time to and buy in, find your stop. Like I said, mine would be like say I was going to get serious about this one right now. My stop would be right here. So if I bought this, I really would want to keep buying it close to this number, close to what is that 1815.
Yep.
So I'd want to be coming in around 1815. And if
Gotcha.
I can get in there, and that's where I'd be setting my. A lot of people were putting their stops down there, and I'm buying it. They're getting their stops triggered, and I'm buying a piece of it as it pops back up each time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
So you're looking at a specific level that is kind of like your fail safe level,
yep,
and you're
because
going to
if
continue to add to your position until that fail safe
until it
position
fails
gets
it,
breached.
and then I cut it. That's where I've learned that I can save money because I just cut it. Like it's $20 loss. Okay, big deal. Let's move on. Next trade. I think that's where a lot of people struggle is they lose a little bit of money and they're like, well, I'm just gonna hold on to it and see if it comes back. No need to do that. Take your money. I know if you're like me and you're using a cash account, it has to settle for a day, so you're gonna miss out on using that money today. But when it comes back available, there's gonna be something else out there one day that week that you'll get a chance to trade, and you just gotta
Yep.
set up and wait for something like this to set up for you.
Yeah.
You set
Absolutely.
up these broadening formations with I think it's what Strat Soldier calls them. Man.
Yeah, the broadening formations, the expansion out of a range.
Yeah,
You
he's
know, you're
good. Yeah, I've been trying to learn how to do it.
yeah,
I can't.
rediscovering price. We're looking to take out lows. We're looking to take out highs. That's how price is going
Yeah,
to aggregate. But absolutely. All
yeah,
right. So that it's a good insight to see how you've got some struggles in your personal health to kind of hinder your progression in
yeah.
trading, but you're constantly just pushing the envelope and making sure that you know when to save that mental capital and when to understand when you're exhausted yourself.
Right.
And
Now,
that's part of that perseverance, is understanding that and continue to work through those. So I do appreciate it,
yeah,
everything that you do.
that right there is just like a day trade talk here, though. Now, if we want to talk about on the month, we're
Yeah, let's
still
go
in a
for it.
good we're still in a good buying zone. If you bought, I keep pointing at my screen. If you come over here and look, if you were buying down here, look, you're looking for more of these. You're looking for more of these wicks down. So you'd be wanting to set orders daily along this line to see if you can get wicks down off that and see if you can catch orders. Now remember, if it starts to break below this, you're just gonna have you gotta let it go. It may run, but in my rules, I gotta let it go. That's just my rules, and I stick
Mhm.
to them. And it's
So
at the
looking
end
at
of the
this,
game.
you're thinking you're a little bullish on the Qs, on the NQ.
Uh,
So the Nasdaq, you're a little bullish
at the
at these
moment,
levels
yeah, at the
at the
moment,
moment.
but I'm never bullish nor bearish. I'm just playing what I see. I always just play what I see.
Yeah,
So
I'm
and
trying to
it
put
does,
you into
yeah.
a
Because
corner
I
now.
guess
You're bull
technically,
right now. No,
technically, I'm calling for the if we get a two up and a continuation up here today. If we
yeah,
get another bounce, but if we don't, look, we know we can go right back over here to the SQs and we can set up for the SQs the same way. And we can start trading that. And that's something Mighty Soldiers Andy taught me a lot was how to learn how to straddle.
yep.
You can straddle your he does
Your
options
positions.
with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. You
And
can
if I
straddle them. You're essentially hedging your positions. But
yep,
that
and I
yeah,
can cut one. If it cuts below, I cut that one, and the other one's shooting up. Well, you can start taking profit off on the way up. And usually, where I'll take my profit is I like to take a profit as we cross over. Uh,
yeah, your magnitude.
yeah, as soon as we like say this one though, I might take some off right here because the squeeze. But usually, I'm looking at the candle. I had to make sure it was on the daily still. But I'm usually looking at these candles. But I'll take a look at the week. Like I do a lot more research than I'm just blabbing about here. I make sure I look at the week and the
Multiple
month
time
and
frame analysis.
yeah, I do my hour. I do a 15 minutes. Yeah, I do some research, but I you got to enjoy doing this to sit there and study it like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely. That's a good segue, because you're talking about straddling a position. You're talking about hedging your position based off of the T2 TQs or the SQs. Now, I want to segue into my charts talking about the ES. We're going to look at the futures, and then we're going to take some positions here because we've got about 6 minutes or so.
do I need
So
to
we're going to go ahead
unshare?
here. What's that?
Do I need to unshare?
Oh, no, you're good. You're good, Mike.
Okay.
So we are two up on the day. So directionally, we have gone directionally long. So what we're looking here at the ES, I'm looking for my days open at 38.57. I'm going to say that as long as we stay above 38.66 and a half, we're going to close above that. I'm looking at my magnitude, which is my first target, and magnitude is kind of strat talk for your first target, is at 38.99, so really close to 3900. So if I believe right now here pre-market, right before 6 minutes before we open, I'm going to want to take a long position, and I want to say that we're going to close above 3900. So I'll pull up the ES here. So click on that, look at my strike list, and I want to see 3900. Right now, the yeses are selling for 5. So I do want to play to the long side here. So yes, they cost $5 right now, but potentially I could make 14, what is it, $15 on this position. So good risk to reward in my opinion. So I want to click the yeses. And let's just say I'll place 10. 10 is going to cost me $52. Let's just go ahead and do 20. Let's just do 20. All right. It's going to cost me $100 to potentially win 400. That's a nice risk reward right there. So if it starts moving up, I can get out of that position. I don't have to wait for it to close the day. If it's going to continue to move higher, I can continue to make money on the way up, and I can ease myself out of this position, and I can take some profit along the way. So I'm going to go ahead and place the order. Why did that fail? I'm going to try it one more time, just in case I have an issue here. I don't know what this means. However, give me a quick second. If Michael, you can please do me a favor, and I'm going to take this off screen so I can re-log in. You guys don't need to be seeing my password. So I'm going to log back in. Hopefully that takes care of it. And we're going to keep this thing moving because we can't, where am I at right here?
I was gonna say another thing that I have to do here is, you know how you and the Strat Soldier and everybody always do these YouTube videos, and I'll watch them with you all, but a lot of times I'll be in the chat just chit chatting. Just, I like to be in the chat. I like to be involved here too, talking to people. But I will bring your screen back up on my TV later and watch it on like a 65-inch. That way I can actually see what you're doing. Because I can't see it whenever I'm looking at it on a screen inside a screen, if that makes sense. So I have to like do twice the work here, but I do it. It's something that you have to do.
Some more perseverance there.
Yeah.
I'm logging into my web app here. This is probably just my fault. It's user error typically. So I probably timed out while I was waiting. So I'm going to place that order still. And it's still giving me a failed, but I'll still give you my picks for the day. Okay. So I'm saying we're going to stay over 3,900. I'm going to bring this back over. And I'm going to say that we're going to stay above 3,900 on the day. Okay. Typically it goes a lot smoother than this. So apologies. Not only am I sick trying to do this, but I'm trying to get these orders in. And unfortunately, it's not working for me. Hopefully it's working for you guys. But 3,900 for the ES. The NQ, got about 3 minutes, so we'll go here. It did go 2 up on the day already. My target is going to be to try and get us green on the week. So 11,320. I'm going to look for a strike on the NQ. And I'm going to look at the list. And we're looking at 11,300. So that's what I'm going to say. We're going to stay above 11,300. There's still a lot of data coming out today, economic calendar wise. Excuse me for my voice. And that's what I'm looking for on the NQ. All right. We're taking a look at RTY. RTY, not the D. RTY. Okay. We're 2 up there as well. So I'm looking for this to stay above 1,770. Let's take a look to see what the strike is going to be. There's the NASDAQ. There's the Russell. Give me the Russell, and I want to see the strike list. 11,770. Right now it's at 12, so I'm going to say we're going to close above 11,770. And then go back to the Dow. We'll take a look at the YM. That's a lot stronger, so I'm going to say we're going to stay above, I'd say 33,300 if that's a strike. We'll take a look at the Dow there. Take a look at the strike list. So we've got 33,500. That's what I will go with. We're going to end above 33,500. Those are going to be my picks. Hopefully I can get logged in and take these trades, but I will continue to work on the back end with Trade of 8 and the CME to make sure that things are working smoothly. If anybody in the chat is trying to go through this at the same time and is not experiencing issues, then good for you. I apologize for the issues there, but it's been a blast talking with you, Michael. Where can we find you?
I'm on Twitter, at the Blind Trader, and on Mighty Soldiers Discord. Look me up there. And I appreciate you having me on. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the lesson on perseverance and understanding that When things seem like they might be not going so hot, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. Keep pushing forward,
it.
keep your discipline, keep pushing, keep trying to strive to get better, have some
Every
thick
day.
skin out here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful trading day. And as always, nothing but profits and peace. See ya.